It's pretty crazy right now. Let's take a look at the standings, and then we're going to talk about a couple of games that were absolutely nuts. I'm Stevie B. This is Kenny G, and this is KC Nation. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, tell your friends. So, right at the top right now is the Houston Cougars, 8-0, coming off of a massive win at KU this past Saturday. We're going to talk about that here shortly. They're 16-3 overall, and down at the bottom on the other end of the spectrum, we have the Colorado Buffaloes, 0-8 overall and 9-10. They don't have the least amount of wins in the Big 12, Kenny. That actually belongs to K-State. Even though K-State is 2-6 in the conference, they only have 8 wins, or 8-11 overall, coming off of a 13-point win, home win against a ranked Mountaineers squad. Kenny, this Big 12 is a gauntlet, man. It really is, and it does suck that K-State is not doing better. But man, there's a lot of really good teams in this conference. There's a lot of really, really, really good teams in this conference.
Yeah, just like in football, the Big 10 and the SEC are regarded as the best conferences in that sport. The Big 12 really carries the torch for how good basketball is in the country. If you want to play in the toughest conference for basketball, you come to the Big 12. Houston Cougars, no surprise there, being at the top. I mean, they are incredible. The program is really good, and this is part of the reason why they joined the Big 12. I mean, like, it was definitely not their football program. It was their basketball program, without a doubt. And they're honestly, I mean, they were the only school that could give KU a run for their money, because KU sort of ran this conference for a long time. And let's be honest, I mean, they're still a solid school. KU is always going to be a blue blood basketball program. But yeah, you're right. K-State having a really rough start to the season. Very unexpected. We talked about how, in Texas Tech, they put all their money into the transfer portal and the NIL, and sometimes it doesn't work out. And the example, Exhibit A, K-State, we put a lot of money into our basketball program, and it did not turn out good. We are struggling. We're not cohesive. We lost a player who just decided to quit. Other players are not playing their best. It's very inconsistent. But what's very weird is that the 2 wins that we have in the conference are against ranked opponents. When Cincinnati was ranked, we beat them. When West Virginia was ranked, we beat them. So it's very interesting. I mean, of course, KU, we played them. We didn't win against them when they were ranked, obviously. But it's funny that our wins were against opponents when they were ranked. But yeah, Houston Cougars, massive game against the Jayhawks. And as a K-State fan, you love to see them. Anytime the Jayhawks, take an L, you love to see it. So, but it was a very epic game, like you said. And if you want to explain that game, I watched a couple of games before we did this podcast, but to retain all that is a lot. But I feel like you wanted to highlight some moments potentially.
Yeah, we're going to talk about 4 out of the top 5 teams here in terms of the conference race here. It's nice to see KU is 3 games back already. That's pretty awesome to see. I think Arizona is kind of the dark horse right now. I don't think anyone picked them to be as good as they are. And they just came off of a big win against Iowa State, who is number 3 right now in the conference. Let's talk about Houston, though. They're the number 1 team in the conference. They just came off a big win against KU. Dude, 18 seconds left in overtime. KU is up 6 and shooting free throws. Not only does this game go into another overtime, they lose the game at home. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, here's what's going on. KU's up 6. Their point guard, DeJuan Harris, shooting free throws. He misses them. Houston comes down. They hit a 3. KU tries to inbound the ball. Again, they're up 6 with 18 seconds left, and they're shooting free throws, which is, I mean, I would imagine their win percentage was like 98, 99% at this point. So, like I said, Houston hits a 3 to cut it to a 3-point game. KU tries to inbound it. They couldn't, so they call a timeout. They try to inbound it again. Houston steals it. They shoot a 3, and they make it. They tie the game at 79. They go into a double overtime, and they win, Kenny. Beautiful win for Houston against KU, man.
Yeah, if this doesn't make Houston arguably the top 2, top 3 basketball team in the country, I don't know. You can't just walk into Allen Fieldhouse and come out with a dub in double overtime like that. I mean, this is like, it's hard. That's extremely hard to do. So, massive win. I mean, anytime you walk into their turf like that, I mean, this is like the gauntlet of gauntlets kind of place to play. It's very, very hard to win there. And to do it in double overtime is even more impressive. Yeah, this Houston team is very scary, dangerous.
Dangerous. And the other one I want to talk about as we look at the standings here one more time. Dude, big Monday out in Arizona. Number 3, Iowa State, playing at Arizona. They make a free throw to go up by 3. Only a couple seconds left. In fact, I think actually someone sent me the video here, Kenny. I think we can show it. They mounted the ball to Caleb Love. 60-footer for the tie. It's good. Let's watch it again. Caleb Love, 60-footer for the tie. It's good. They go to overtime and they win the game, dude. Again,
they dominated overtime. They dominated.
I mean,
I think what did they win, like 14 points to like 3 or something?
Something like that. Yeah, I mean, so it's improbable. And I wanted to ask you, as we're still talking about this, which game was more improbable or more impressive to you? Having to make 2 threes in under 20 seconds, and that involves getting a steal, and it involves KU missing free throws, and it's an away game to send it to another overtime? Or is it more impressive, a 60-footer, almost a full length of the court, to tie the game to send it to overtime? Which one of those wins or shots or whatever scenarios was more impressive to you?
I'd say the 6-point comeback to bring it to double overtime in Allen Fieldhouse. See, that to me is just way more impressive. The Arizona game, not to take anything away from that, that's an amazing moment, but it was at home. Sometimes the magic just happens at home, where you can just make a shot like that, and then the momentum is just completely on your side because you're at home. Had that been in Ames, I don't know if he would have made that shot and then like still made that 14-point run in the overtime. But with Houston being at KU, being down by 6 in overtime while they're shooting free throws, oh my dude, to drain the 3, get the steal, and then drain another 3 to put it in the second overtime. Whew, man, at Allen Fieldhouse, that's tough, bro. I mean, it's just more of a hats off. And we all know Iowa State's a great team. Both Iowa State and KU are solid teams in the Big 12. It's just one was home and had the advantage, and one was away and had the disadvantage. Had the away advantage or disadvantage. But for KU to lose, I mean, that's just more of an impressive win to me in double overtime. That 60-footer shot is insane, though. I mean,
I mean,
there's nothing can't take away from that, but it's still more impressive to me to win in Allen Fieldhouse in double overtime.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go with you as well. I think you need more to go right in that scenario to win that game. I mean, you need missed free throws. You need to go 1 for 1 from 3-point land. You need to steal, and you need to go 1 for 1 from 3-point land again. Whereas, yes, the percentages are pretty low for a shot that far away. I mean, you only have to make 1 shot. Only one thing has to happen to send it to overtime. Whereas,
and you're getting full court pressure too. Like they were on them right away.
And it was a home game versus winning at Allen Fieldhouse. K-State's not done that since 2005. In 20 years, or 2006, one of those two. It's insanely impressive what Houston did. So I'm going to go Houston as well. I think that win is way more impressive. Though I think Iowa State's pretty good. They may have peaked a little early. But But I mean, if you're a Cyclones fan, how can you be upset right now? I mean, your football team just went to the Big 12 championship game for the second time in the last couple of years. You go down to Orlando, you beat a Miami squad in the bowl game, and then your basketball team's ranked number 3 in the country. So I think it's still a pretty good time to be a Cyclone fan. So, but yeah, I would take the Houston as a more improbable, more impressive win of those two.
Absolutely.
So, and I want to ask you really quickly before we move on to the next segment. Is K-State basketball, is their season over? Or is there any hope left? Is there any hope left? Because at this point for me, I'm already at the acceptance stage. I mean, K-State's figured out every single different way to lose a game. And I've watched almost every single game. And so at this point, I'm just accepting that they're going to lose every game, even though they just won a game. I didn't even watch it. I'll be honest. I didn't watch it. I had other stuff going on. Is the season already over? Because to me, it feels like it already is.
I haven't watched K-State play since they lost the tournament in, what was it, the Bahamas or whatever.
Yep.
Yeah, I haven't watched a single game from there. I'm not going to go to a K-State basketball game to see them live. I just won't do it this year. The inconsistency is way too all over the map. You know, the inconsistencies are crazy. That's the only thing that they're consistent about, is that they're inconsistent. And I think a lot of K-State fans have just phoned in the season. They're like, we're not interested in this team. And although Coach Tang is a great coach and everything, a lot of fans are done with him as well. Even though we can't get rid of him, I mean, we're stuck with Jerome Tang for at least another 3 years minimum. But yeah, I mean, I suppose you could salvage the season if you made some huge wins against big time teams. But I don't know if I think the damage is already done. The non-con was so bad for K-State that we lost to Wichita State, dude. I mean,
we didn't even lose, dude. We lost by 18. We got crushed.
We lost to them. We lost to Drake. We lost to
Liberty.
30 points to Houston. I mean,
at home.
It's a bad season.
Blew a 12-point second half lead against Baylor. We scored 4 points in the last 10 minutes at home against Texas Tech, including 0 points in the last 6 minutes to lose.
Yeah, this game,
it's embarrassing, dude.
The game that we won against West Virginia, look, a lot of those players had the flu. Their best player was injured, wasn't playing in the game. You could say like, oh, well, I mean, they still capitalized and they still played really well. Yeah, like that was one game, the first win that they've got since the first game of the conference season against Cincinnati, which, by the way, that win doesn't look anything impressive at all. It's just at the time they were ranked, so it looked great. But dude, we have a bad team this year. And I said I don't think K-State's winning more than 10 games. That's still a possibility. That's still a possibility. I think that the only guaranteed win we have coming up is against Colorado. That's it. That's all we already lost to Oklahoma State. It's possible that we could lose to them again. And we play them again at home in a couple weeks.
Let me pull up the schedule really quick. We're going to pick how many games K-State's going to win.
They're at 8 wins right now.
They're at 8 wins. All right, here we go. Against Oklahoma State at home, if K-State doesn't win this, then I don't know if they'll win a game the rest of the season. If they win that game, it gets them to 9 wins. At Iowa State, loss.
No. Yep.
At Arizona State, loss. At home against KU, big loss.
Big loss.
At home against Arizona, big loss. At BYU.
At night. Look at the time of there. 8 o'clock at night.
And this one's 10 o'clock at night at Utah.
Oh, my God.
I said both of those are losses.
Yeah.
Maybe beat Arizona State at home. Probably not.
So.
At UCF, loss. Colorado hasn't won a game in the Big 12. So we'll give them that win. That gets them to 10 wins. at Cincinnati, at home against Iowa State, losses. So we're picking them to only go 4-16 in the Big 12.
Yeah, 10
Yikes, bro.
wins. 10 wins overall the whole season. What I
Yikes, bro.
predicted.
Yikes.